Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we back at it again. We gonna talk about these damn games like we usually do. Now let's talk about the Thunder game real quick. And they had the young guns come out, and they had them come out swinging. They won by 4 points in a pretty tight game. But the first quarter, you can see Dallas came out 10 points on top. They came out strong. Then OKC, they closed the gap. They had a great third quarter. They came out on a tear. And then the fourth quarter, they had another great fourth quarter. Everybody was just hitting shots on all cylinders. Now you look at Chet Holmgren. If he gives you 18, 20 points, you got a problem. If he gives you a double-double with 20 points, you got yourself a problem. You got Williams dropping 14 points. I don't know how you do that. You got Shai dropping a consistent 34 points. He's always going to do that. Giddey, really not a scorer, long player. You're going to need more out of him. And then you even got 17 out of Dort. So when everybody's playing like this, they're a problem, a big, big problem. But another problem is they got no bench. This is why I don't really trust the Thunder that much. Their starters are good. This is the New York Knicks factor. The starters play well, but when they don't play well, they're in trouble. So you're basically asking yourself, are they going to play well for 4 quarters every single game? The answer to that is a resounding no. Because they human, like I always say. And they going to hit a wall if you going to play like that. You getting 12 points from your bench. That ain't going to get it done in the finals. Or in the conference finals. You might win against the Mavericks in the semis. But against the bigger dogs, you going to get bit in the ass. They shot 7 for 27. They didn't even shoot threes well. But they shot free throws well. They missed 1 free throw and shot 24 of them. That's fucking amazing. Their field goals, they shot terribly. They shot 38% from the field. They should have lost this game, guys. They didn't play a good game. They shot terribly on all facets. And the free throws basically saved them. If they didn't shoot all them free throws, they lose the game. I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you look at the Mavericks, they didn't shoot much better. They only shot 40% and 34 from 3. But they made 5 more 3-pointers and somehow still lost the... Oh, there it is, guys. The free throw game. They shot free throws at 50%. If you're going to do that, you're going to lose most games that you play, especially in the playoffs. And there's the ball game, guys. We found it. We found the variable. The freaking Thunder was able to make their free throws while the Dallas Mavericks were clunking theirs. Now let's see who the culprits were to miss all of theirs. P.J. Washington dropped another 21 points, so they still have no answer for this fool. They still have no answer for this dude. They seem to have an answer for Kyrie Irving. They got an answer for Luka that game, but you got no answer for P.J. Dumbass a fire hydrant Washington. You gotta be kidding me, ladies and gentlemen. Kyrie went 1 for 2 from the line, 0 for 2 from 3. Dude, Luka Doncic went 2 for 9 from 3, 6 for 20. How you gonna win like that when your best player can't hit a backside of a barn? It's impossible. It's not gonna happen. Their bench players shot better than him, and that's not saying much. Tim Hardaway shot the ball better than him. If he shot at 20 shots, he would have shot better. That's for damn sure. So that tells me that they had the Mavericks lay down. I think the Mavericks going to win the next game, but we're going to talk about that when that happens. Let's talk about the Celtics game. I ended up picking the Cavaliers. I thought they were going to come and pull this one out. But that was before I knew Donovan Mitchell wasn't playing. If I knew Donovan Mitchell wasn't playing, I would have obviously picked the Celtics. I had no idea. Once I saw him in street clothes, I was shocked. I was pissed. I was annoyed. I felt like they held that information back on the gamblers and everybody on purpose. They didn't want us to get a gauge on this game. Because they know if Donovan Mitchell's in the lineup, this team's got a chance. And even with him out the lineup, they almost beat this team. They just need a little bit more. They just didn't have it. They let Boston score 37 points in the first quarter. And that's the ball game, guys. They lost by 7 points. You gave up 37 points. If you give up 30 points, you go to overtime and you get another chance. Anytime you give up 37 points in any quarter, you're probably going to lose that game. That's a big-time deficit to overcome. Now, Same thing here. They shot 24 free throws and they only missed 3. That's a recipe to win. They shot 48% from the field. That's amazing. That means 50% of their shots went down. They shot 32 threes and made 12 of them. It's going to be tough to beat that. I don't know how you can beat. That's 36 points from the three-point line by itself. That's tough to beat. It's very tough to beat. Now you look down here. Look at this. This is the ball game. They only shot 5 free throws, ladies and gentlemen, and that's the ball game. So free throws are the difference in the 2 games last night. Both teams that lost, they didn't shoot free throws enough, or they didn't shoot them well enough. And that's the ball game in the playoffs, because the games get slowed down, and it's a lot of fouling and a lot of free throw shooting. If you can't make them, you're going to lose most likely. And they didn't even shoot threes bad. They made their threes. They made 15 of them. They shot 48. That's a lot of threes to be shooting, but they made 15 of them. They shot okay from the field. It's just impossible, though, to win when you only shoot 7 free throws. When you're shooting 48 three-pointers, that means you're not being aggressive, and that means you're not going to shoot that many free throws. So they got to be more aggressive. They can't only rely on the three-point shot. I mean, that's what Boston was giving them. But even if they give it to you, you still got to take your shots at the basket to get fouls called, to get easy baskets, to slow the game down, and to get easy points. That's what the game's about. And the rest, the free throws are more about resting. It's a timeout within a timeout. You get fouled, now everybody gets to slow down, take a breath. That's really what it is, guys. So that's really the ball game. Now let's look at here. Mobley had a good game. Garland finally showed out. So it seems like Garland can't play well when Donovan Mitchell's there, because Garland needs the ball in his hand. So those 2 guys need the ball in their hand. That's why it doesn't work. And it shows you that Garland probably plays better as a point guard for this team, because he's producing with everybody. Everybody that played scored. So that tells me he's a better distributor of the basketball. Even though he only had 7 assists, he probably could have had more. All right, let's look at here. 33 from Tatum, 16 from Holiday, 27 from Brown. Your big 3 showed up without Porzingis. So this team is still a good team without Porzingis. I think they should be able to handle this series. The Cavaliers should be able to get one more game, but it's going to be tough in Boston, because I think they're going back to Boston. Boston wins the next game, it's over. But the Cavaliers, they better do themselves a favor and win one more game, unless they want this team to get completely blown up and everybody lose their jobs. All right, let's talk about the games tonight. All right, we got the Pacers versus the Knicks. They got the Knicks favored by 1.5 points. I don't trust this team anymore. I think they're beat up. I think they're really just hit a wall. I don't know if they can sustain the way they've been playing. I think it's very tough. Look at this. They got 54% on the Knicks. That's something that you should be looking at and laughing at. I'm going to go with Indy tonight. I know it's a tough call, but they got the championship coach. They got more depth. They got better shooting. And it seems like they got more confidence in their bench. Something the Knicks definitely do not have. They play 5 deep and let a few guys get some bench points and bench minutes here and there. Alec Burke. But like I said, if he's your leading scorer, you ain't going to win the game. It just ain't going to happen. If Jalen Brunson can't score 40 points, then you ain't going to win. It just ain't going to happen. That's their recipe to win. Jalen drops 44, and everybody else does the rest. If you can't do that, it's over. And I think Rick Carlisle figured it out. I think he figured out we got to shut down Brunson, and this team is stopped. On Indy, there's not one person you can stop. They all can play on that team together. They play team ball over there. The Knicks, they don't draw plays. It's all one-on-one basketball, and that's why Indy is shutting them down. They realize it now. But I could be wrong. They could let the Knicks win and make the Pacers lay down because they want 7 games. But I think the Pacers are the better coach team, and just slightly, a little bit better. Just slightly, just because they can rely on a bench and they can get fresh legs. So tonight, even though the money and everybody's picking the Knicks, I'm going with the Pacers. And that's my final answer. All right, next we got the Timberwolves versus the Nuggets. I think this is the biggest game of the series. This game right here is going to decide the way this series goes. Right now, they got 54% of a winning percentage on Denver, and Denver has a 4.5% or 4.5 shot on the spread. So with that being said, you know how I do it. I'm going to go the other way with this one. I'm going with Minnesota. Minnesota, I think they're going to handle their business. They laid down the last two games. Well, the last game they played all right, but the whole team as a whole, they laid down. I think they're going to come back and play a good game, a complete game, and get it done. If they don't win Game 5, they're going to win Game 6. Either way, this is going 7 games. You better bet your bottom dollar. That's the only way I see this going. So tonight, I'm going to go with Minnesota just because of the bets and the money. It's just too much. And that's the way we're going to leave it, guys. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned for the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.